if a drummer that's really cooking, they hear you do that. If I was playing a drummer, I'd be like, boom, boom, ching, cat, or at least boom, boom. And then you got a downbeat of a quarter note to pivot to something else. That's the little micro details that makes the difference between going from like an advanced player, like you are, who like knows the language, to like the top upper echelon, you know, from high tier to top tier, right? How do you get from high tier to top tier? It's those little things like that. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm professional jazz saxophonist and educator Patrick Bartley, and this is my brand new service and video series called Jazz VOD Review. Now, if you're not familiar with what a VOD review is, first of all, let's talk about what VOD means. And a VOD stands for video on demand, and what that basically means is it's a video that's been recorded from either a stream or wherever that you can then watch later. And the term VOD review is a term that's most commonly associated with the video game world, where players will look at these VODs and analyze them, often with the help of a coach or other experienced player, in order to find ways to improve their gameplay and achieve better results in competitions. Now, having a little bit of competitive video game experience myself, having a short stint in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and still to this day playing competitive Splatoon for Nintendo Switch, one day I had the random idea to see if there was any way to do for jazz musicians what coaches and professional players do for video game players in the video game world. And I want to see what would happen. And that brings us here today to this series, which has not only been a great experience for the students, but also an extremely great learning experience for me. And I count that as a big success. We do these VOD reviews every week on this channel, and players of all skill levels are welcome. And most importantly, it's free. There's even an option to get reviewed privately if that's something that you prefer. It just might take me a little longer to get to those compared to the public ones. So if you'd like a chance of getting your VOD review and getting some real honest advice that could potentially take you to the next level, go ahead and click that link in the description box below to find out more. Thank you, everybody. And now, let's get right into Jazz VOD review. Ah, yes, the next one is a trumpet player. This is because I wanted to get something, you know, I want to show that we do all sorts of stuff here. This is Ian Livingston. They're 26. And this is Gone with the Wind. And I remember checking this out before. Oh, yo, so Ian, you're here. Good to see you. So I remember like yeah, being really impressed with this solo. It's a great example of how to play a good clean solo. All right, let's check it out. Yeah. 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 Good stuff, man. Yeah, man. So this is exactly, yeah, somebody said language woo. Yeah, I mean, great play. This is exactly the type of solo. This is like a yeah man solo. This is like the solo. This is just yeah man the solo. Like play everything right. I mean, just clean, pristine. I mean, I hear all the KD. I hear some of the Clifford Brown. I hear, you know what I'm saying? Like I hear a lot of that in there, man. It's great. It's awesome. Touch of Howard McGee, maybe. Chet Baker for sure. Like I can hear all your influences in there, which means you're doing the right thing. This is if I would to pick an example of somebody that's doing all the things they're supposed to do, like checking out the recordings, coming up with your own stuff based on the actual language. This is it, which is great, man. I mean, that's the reason why I was listening to this. I was like, dang, man, what am I going to say about it? But then I realized, yeah, I am doing a VOD review, so I have to say this. So good job, Ian, though. Really great playing. I mean, excellent microdynamics, articulation. I'll explain what I mean by microdynamics in a second. There's a reason why I'm saying microdynamics. I didn't just say dynamics, microdynamics. Great articulation, time feel, you're in there, good drummer. Everything is great. This is awesome. You know, you could easily play any gig today and sound good. But obviously today we're not talking about how to sound good. We're talking about how to sound great. We're talking about what's gonna, because that's the thing that that's one of the reasons I'm happy to have a solo like this on the show, because we can show an example of, like, no matter what level you're at, there can always be things that you improve on that might be bigger than you think, right? So no one's off limits. And so a lot of people that might be thinking, man, like, he's so good, how can I change? It's like, don't be intimidated. I'll show you why. So a lot of this is personal taste, of course, right? At this level, right? Like, that's just how it is. At this level that, you know, you have your own ways of playing, which is amazing. But I would say that even with this being a matter of taste, there's a couple of things that I think my thought is, because this is such a good solo, the way I have to think about this is, what is the difference between, like, because now when you play like here, you got to start comparing the top dogs, right? So what would be the reason that someone would be more likely to go check out, I don't know, like Bruce Harris, like somebody in the same idiom, right, over Ian Livingston, right? What is the thing that would make them see them over you, right? Because we have to get that real. And to me, a lot of it comes down to the overall dynamics of the music. So here's what I mean. I told you have really great microdynamics. Let's think about macro dynamics. And what I mean by macro dynamics, I mean more inflections, contrast between the notes, right? There's so many different things. When listening to the solo, I was like, man, this is right down the middle. If this is written down on paper, everything would be perfect. There's nothing you could say. But the thing is, this isn't paper music, right? Like, how it's not about the notes you play, it's how you deliver those notes. So what I'm thinking is, okay, this is really extremely good vocabulary that can be delivered with more dynamics. Because I don't want to say more feeling, because obviously, like, you know, you feel what you play. And I think a lot of people talk about, you know, playing with more feeling. A lot of people talk about, like, you should have more feeling in your playing. But I think that kind of is, like, misunderstood sometimes. And I don't want people to say stuff like, you need to play with more feeling. Because I think you got your own feeling. And I think there's a certain thing to be said about the emotion that you put into your style of playing. But if we're talking about how to have the audience kind of feel that, if they're not the type of people that are just good at analyzing and want to analyze the stuff you play, you got to find a way to get them to be into the thing that you're playing, like, full stop, right? So usually this comes from thinking, like, broader, simpler perspective of the music. Like, think about, I would say, like, the only thing I would really add is try to think like a singer, right? Think like either a kid or your grandmama, somebody out there that likes music and is really enjoying music, and they don't really know nothing about it. But imagine if a little 7-year-old kid could just sing bebop lines. There's probably, it's 2025. There's probably some 7-year-old kid just wailing bebop. But just imagine, like, how they would, if they were listening to bebop like it's a cartoon. What do you think of the things that are going to stick out to them if they saw Dizzy Gillespie? Is it going to be the flat five and the tritone going to the web? No, it's going to be like, whatever. That's what's going to stick out to them, right? So it's not that you got to play high stuff. It's just that, for example, if we were to go back to check out what you're playing, let's talk about this from the perspective of what you actually played, right? So, like, even right there, you can even push that back a little bit, exaggerate it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Or let's keep going. Let's keep going. There's more stuff. Even right there, think about, like, a big band. Like, oh, get some attitude on it. You know, put some like there. This is with your own language. This isn't even my stuff. I'm not giving you lines. This is what you're playing. So, like, you know what I'm saying? That's already a lot. Let's keep going, right? Okay, right there, you can be super in the pocket. Or whatever you play. I think it was something like that. As opposed to, you know. And now everyone is suddenly listening to you. You know, like so much of this music is the art of getting people to listen to you. It really is like that. It's crazy, right? Like, but when delivering when playing a solo, you want to think more about delivering a solo as opposed to just playing a solo. Like, you know what I'm saying? You want to deliver it, hand deliver it. Don't make them have to come and pick it up. You know, like hand deliver the solo. You know, like here it is. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple of things. There's a couple other things we can check out in here. You know, for as an example. Like even that you don't understand. It's like you've studied so much. You've studied so much and have so much vocabulary. I don't even think you realize how much you got. Like you are killing. Like you have so much. Like so. I'm like, oh wait, let me see how exactly you played that. Let me see how exactly you played that. Let me go back. Like man, right? That's you keep drop. It's almost like it's like this. Imagine. Okay, let me put it this way. Like imagine if somebody's like, I wish I had like a. What's an analogy? I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. Like the amount of language you're putting out is akin to like someone. Okay, I got it. It's like imagine. So imagine like there's a friend you haven't seen in a long time, and the conversation is kind of like this. It's like, oh man, like you know, you just got back. I see you just got back from Paris, man. Like you know, you were living there for a year. Like. What changed? What's been going on? And it's like, oh man, a lot of stuff happened. And then all at once, immediately one after another, imagine he says, yeah, so I got married. And then we had a kid. Oh, you know, my uncle died. Man, I found out that the cure for cancer is actually a banana. Man, did you know that bananas actually came from this? Oh, you know my uncle invented the banana. It's like, yo, whoa. Yo, chill, bro, chill. You're dropping so much stuff. What? You got married, had a kid. Bananas a cure for cancer. Your uncle invented. Yo, there's so much stuff, bro. It's like, bro. Imagine that. Like, I know it's the dumbest thing. I'm just trying to think of something to make it like, like you got so much language, but you're kind of just delivering it like everyone already knows the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you got this information here, and it's like, yeah, it's whatever. I just won $1 million and I don't have to pay taxes on it. Oh yeah, my student loans are paid off with like, you know, they were like $2. I didn't have to deal with it anymore. Oh yeah, my mom's the queen of a new island. Yeah. Anyway, what did you want from Chipotle? That's what it feels like. So, and I think like man, because when I'm listening to people who really know what they're like, for people who really know this stuff, if you give every single thing that you play to like. I don't know, Winton or somebody, whoever, just a great, like whoever the great interpreters of jazz trumpet are. If you give them these lines, like this one you just play, I'm really stuck because I like this line I like this one. Like you can, you know, you don't have to oversell it. I'm not saying like, you know, I'm not saying you gotta put some stank on it. No, not everything got a stank. Something can smell pretty, you know, but like you can play it with a little more, just macro dynamic, you know what I'm saying? Put some more of your personality on it. It don't gotta be a lot. It's not. I'm not doing that. Like it's and have that beat, you know, and everything I just played, right? What's the difference between two of these? It's very subtle, right? But the difference is how I deliver that quarter note to you. It's how I deliver the quarter note and how that first part of the line that you play, it's kind of nebulous, right? It's kind of in the air. That's the part that makes you see stars. Like, not like confused, but like kind of look up and stare at the clouds, like. That's like that kind of line, that kind of language is of the. You are playing lines that are in the long lineage that traces back to like Louis Armstrong and King Oliver and Freddie. Like that's the type of stuff you could play. That's like all Louis Armstrong, whether you believe, whether you know it or not. That's like all Louis Armstrong, that type of stuff. And there's a lot of weight behind that. And the way that like Louis, like you know how Louis like looks up into the air, right, and just does that kind of stuff. That's kind of what this is like, right? But you can play it kind of laid back, and then you start off kind of in the air, and then you drop it right back in time. You know what I'm saying? Like you deliver that quarter note like that, you'd be surprised how just that little bit of detail. I wish we had a rhythm section in here to like take it to the next level. You would actually be surprised how if a drummer that's really cooking, they hear you do that. If I was playing a drummer, I'd be like, boom, boom, ching, cat, or at least boom, boom, and then you got a downbeat of a quarter note to pivot to something else. You know, there's like that's the little micro details that makes the difference between going from like an advanced player like you are who like knows the language to like the top upper echelon, you know, from high tier to top tier, right? How do you get from high tier to top tier? It's those little things like that. That micro spacing, micro spacing. So, but yeah, that's kind of the main thing I want to talk about because otherwise, like, bro, like again, I don't have to go through all of this. I mean, you play some like 16th note lines, like man, see if I just told you like, you know, banana's a cure for cancer and like my uncle invented it and my mom's a queen of an island. Imagine what those 16 note lines you played would have been like. So, but all of it's like, oh, it's like truth nukes. Like you just like, that's like saying, oh yeah, I found a time machine. I went to the future. We're cooked. And it's like, just out of nowhere. Like, we're cooked, guys. We're cooked. Like that's what. So, but. Hey man, I went back to the past and changed the trajectory of everything. You're not even real anymore. Like, but yeah, man, I mean, killing. Just great playing, man. And thanks for submitting your video again. Applause for Ian. Great trumpet player.